I'm Melissa, and usually when I'm doing this, I'm talking to you about going fishing for my Girl Gone Fishing channel. But every once in a while something comes up that I'm like, you know, I think that might make an interesting video or helpful for me to remember how to do something down the line. And replacing the mower blades on my Ego mower is definitely one of those things. So when I first bent this blade, I looked for help like straightening the blade, and I really couldn't find anyone to help me. And then I broke the end off this blade, and I have to say my yard has a lot of junk honeysuckle stumps, and the Ego mower, I guess it's just not beefy enough to handle it, although I love how light it is for like pushing it around. So bent the first end, and it kept running. I just set it up really high, you know, and it did fine. But then I did this, and now the blades are like unbalanced and it won't run. It's you know, so I have to replace them. So I looked into getting it done, and it was really expensive. You know, it was like 50 bucks plus the cost of the blades, which was another 50 bucks. And I'm like, dang it, I can figure out how to do that. So what we need here to do this is new blades. I bought these, ready to go. You need a ratchet. It has to be 14 millimeters or 9/16 inches according to the Ego website. And then you need something like a screwdriver that's just gonna go into a hole that keeps this part from rotating so that you can rotate this part. So, all right, let's see how this goes. All right, well, this is pretty handy. The replacement blades actually came with instructions for replacing the blades, you know, wow. We're gonna start with the 17 millimeter. Oh, look at that. All right, so my step one, according to the instructions, are to use the 17 millimeter ratchet wrench thing to get the two bolts off that hold the set together. So it's these two bolts. I'm going to take them off here so I can use them back on here. I didn't think at first I was going to get them to move. They're a little bent up. I mean, wouldn't that just be so typical that something as stupid as I can't get a bolt off like derails my entire project? So, okay, that is step one. Now, I couldn't figure out how to do the stabilizing bar thing. You're supposed to put a skinny metal rod in this hole, and it's supposed to keep the thing from turning while you turn this, but I couldn't figure out how to make it work. Like, I can get it down part of the hole, but it doesn't stop it from spinning. So I'm being a very bad example, and I'm grabbing the blade, but I'm grabbing the non-cutty side. So I would say don't do that. Yeah, don't do that. No. Making sure I don't lose any parts. Okay. Oh no, okay. Don't need that. Oh, that's the end. I guess that's it. I guess at this point you just take them off and put them on? I don't know, let's try. Gosh, it took me longer to figure out how to use one of these than it did to do that. Okay. I need to get these bolts out because I need to use them again. And here's my poor, pay attention to how they were. Well, I really should have paid attention to how they went together, but too late now. Here's my poor abused one. First it took that bend and then totally just chopped off the end. And I would have kept using it, but it unbalanced it and made it like really rattly. So those are the old ones. These are my new ones. All right, so upper blade, this side facing deck. That must go that way. This side facing grass. It's confusing because we're upside down. Okay. So we screw these together. Bolt these, we bolt these together. I had to flip the little ratchet thing because I'm tightening now instead of loosening. Look at that, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's doing something. I've never had one of these before. That is so much easier than using like a normal wrench. All right, they've been assembled. This part just went on the bottom, and then this goes in there, and there's a flat side that lines up with a flat side, so that was super simple. Okay, I don't want to jinx myself, but I feel like charging like 50 bucks, 40 bucks to do this seems excessive, when if you really knew what you were doing, it would probably take you like 5 minutes. I'm so excited. So the best part is I bought a second one of these because the junk honeysuckle stumps aren't going away anytime soon. So I'm gonna have to keep doing this, but that was really easy. I am very, very happy. So, all right, the next step now is to get the battery in it and see if it works, then mow the grass. My screwdriver was actually out of my emergency kayak toolkit that I carry around in my car for fishing, you know, so I can try to repair things on the road in case anything, you know, if anything happens, I want to be prepared. I think I'll clean this out before I flip it over. Okay, now we put the battery in it, fingers crossed, it cuts grass. Please work. So, you know, in life you run into these things where you're like, oh my gosh, why can't it just work? And then, you know, you go to fix it, and then fixing it doesn't work, and it's hard, and you can't understand it. It is so frustrating. But when you accomplish something like this, like to you it might seem silly and stupid, but to me this is huge. This is a huge accomplishment because I can now handle this on my own moving forward. So one more thing that I can check off worrying about, and yeah, get back to some fishing. So the fact that I did check this off today means I get to go fishing tomorrow. Well, if you came here for the mower, you should check out my fishing stuff. So I fish the local kayak bass trails, the tournament trails around Ohio. I fish Ohio kayak bass fishing and Cincinnati kayak fishing trails. So come for the mower, stay for the fishing. But thank you guys for watching, and I am going fishing tomorrow, so I will say I'll see you on the water on the next one.